Hi, this is Miss Katie, licensed marriage family therapist and school counselor, and I'm back to talk to you again about how to create peace, health, and hope. So last time I talked to you about two strategies. One was to make your own schedule and routine and make sure that you're putting in scheduling in these healthy practices. And the first one that we talked about was eating and hydrating right. And I do want to mention a great resource um, if you need some help in terms of how to eat and hydrate right. And it is 8 Weeks to Optimal Health by Andrew Weil. He also wrote a book called Spontaneous Healing, which also talks about a lot of great natural remedies for your health. And he has a website too, so that's a great resource. So today I want to talk to you about my third tip, and that is to get enough sleep. When you're sleep deprived, not only do you increase your stress, but you also really can increase feelings of anxiety and depression. And that's because when you don't get enough sleep, it actually messes with key neurotransmitters. Also, when you have enough sleep, it helps with your attention, it helps with your focus, it helps with your ability to fight infections. It really, good sleep does improve your immune system. The recommendation is for 8 hours for most adults, and kids actually need to sleep a little bit more. It's recommended that they get minimum 8, but usually 9 to 10. And that's because when you sleep, your body is in restoration mode. And that's when you build your cells. It's where you also repair. And so that is really critical, obviously, for kids who are growing and developing, but also for adults. And actually, when you are sleeping too, it's the prime time for you to process information, especially new information. So the more that you're learning, the more you actually need to sleep. And that is also why it's super important for our kids to get their sleep, but also too for adults. In fact, research is now showing that that sleep is even related to Alzheimer's, and that getting that good deep sleep can help with memory. When you're stressed or experiencing loss, you actually need more sleep, and that's because your body is in fight or flight, which is not the restore and restoration time. So because your body might be more keyed up, you're not only using more energy, it also is releasing more neurochemicals like cortisol and adrenaline, which can cause inflammation on your system too. So, how do you get enough sleep? A lot of parents are actually waking up maybe earlier to get work done or going to bed later. So my first recommendation is really to set a bedtime and a wake time for yourself that ensures 8 hours of sleep. This is important because it actually will set your circadian rhythms. If you have the same awake and bedtimes, your bio clock naturally gets used to that and sets so that you get that deeper sleep where you do all of the good restoration and building of your body that you need to do. I have some sleep tip recommendations because sometimes when you're feeling stressed, it's more difficult to wind down or sleep. So most important is not to be doing your work right up until your bedtime. That is really disruptive. A lot of times you won't have a good sleep. So make sure that you set, I would say at least an hour, but if you can't do that, at least 30 minutes of time where you can wind down and create a bedtime ritual that's relaxing, where you maybe take a hot shower, drink some chamomile tea, stretch, maybe do some meditation, read a book that is enjoyable and puts you at peace, or pray. Any of those kind of things I would add, or all of them, to help you wind down. The other recommendation I would make is to stay away from screens 90 minutes before sleep, because the blue light will disrupt the melatonin. So it's really important and helpful that you're not on your phone or your screen up until your bedtime. I would recommend, if you can, 90 minutes, if not, at least an hour. So instead of reading emails or watching TV, read a good book. The other recommendation that I would make to be getting some good sleep is to eat 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. If you're eating your dinner really close to your sleep, it's going to disrupt your sleep, or you're just not going to have that deeper sleep. The other thing is to stay away from sugar and caffeinated drinks, especially if you can in the afternoon, because that can really disrupt your sleep, and definitely for your kids also. All these tips you can use with your kids too, as well as yourself. It's good to sleep in a room that is cool, around 65 degrees, and dark. And also too, sometimes if you're having trouble quieting your mind or falling to sleep, there is sleep music or sleep sounds that can be helpful, like sounds of the ocean, or there's on YouTube some deep sleep music that's very tonal. So I would suggest that. It can really lull you to sleep and be helpful. The other thing that I would recommend if you're having trouble falling asleep is to do what is called a progressive muscle relaxation. And really what that is lying in your bed, you want to tense and release your muscles. And you can start with your the top, with your head, and move all the way down through your body. So you can squeeze your face really, really tight and then relax it. And pull your shoulders up really, really tight and then relax it. And as you relax it too, you can kind of just breathe out slowly. So that can be helpful. Or just to bring your attention to your breath as you're in your bed, and just really focus on your breath, breathing in and slowly out, and just really resting your attention there. It can help you just to relax and go to sleep. So I hope that this helps you get some good sleep. Add some of these tips for yourself, and I think you'll find that you're sleeping better. You can use them also with your children. Oh, the other thing I should say is lavender is a smell that can help people fall asleep. So you can use lavender lotion or oils or an infuser, but that also is my last final sleep tip. So stay tuned for more tips on how to create peace, health, and hope. And also to, I know I'm giving you a lot of ideas, so maybe just start with one or two. You don't have to do them all at once, but even if one or two you start with, that's a good start. So we'll be in touch and stay tuned for more. Wishing you bliss and blessings.